Yo, what is going on everyone? It is Jacob Fett, and today I'm back with a brand new What If video. In today's video, we're going to be jumping into the timeline of what if General Grievous had killed Obi-Wan Kenobi on Utapau during Revenge of the Sith. If you do enjoy these fanfictions, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. But with that being said, let's jump right into the story. What if Obi-Wan Kenobi had been killed by General Grievous on Utapau during Revenge of the Sith? Our story begins on Utapau, where Obi-Wan Kenobi has found and engaged General Grievous in a duel, looking to take a key step in finally putting an end to the war that had been looming throughout the galaxy for years now. At first, Kenobi was easily able to hold his own against the relentless attacks of Grievous, but the cyborg was a master strategist and he soon revealed his slimy tactics. Commanding his droid army to fire relentlessly at Kenobi, Grievous forced the Jedi Master onto the defensive even more, forcing him to deflect blaster bolts left and right. Despite his best efforts, Kenobi soon found himself overwhelmed. The sheer number of blaster bolts was too much to handle, and he struggled to keep up with both Grievous and the droids. The cyborg saw his chance and closed in for the kill. With a swift and decisive strike, General Grievous strikes down Obi-Wan Kenobi as he falls to the ground with his lightsaber clattering to the ground next to him. Meanwhile, Commander Cody and the 212th Battalion arrive on the planet, ready to assist in the battle. Shortly after they arrived, the troopers were shocked to find out that Obi-Wan had been killed by Grievous and the battle droids. Cody knew that he had to quickly contact the Jedi Council about what had transpired on Utapau, as he goes to try and find some cover so he'll be able to send a clear transmission. Back on Coruscant, we find Anakin Skywalker as he had just learned the truth about Palpatine's identity. Anakin then goes to find Mace and inform him about everything that had happened between him and Palpatine. As Anakin continued to reveal the truth to Mace, suddenly both of their comlinks start to go off simultaneously. The two Jedi could feel that something was off as they quickly head to the nearest holotable to receive the incoming transmission. Commander Cody's hologram appears as he begins to explain the current situation on Utapau, which unfortunately included the death of Obi-Wan Kenobi by the hands of Grievous and the Separatists. Anakin's heart shatters as his eyes begin to fill with tears, struggling to process the news. Obi-Wan was one of the few constants throughout his life, always there to guide him and try and keep him on the right path. Anakin's emotions quickly shift as he couldn't help but start to feel angry. He was angry at Grievous for taking Obi-Wan, he was angry at the war for causing so much pain and suffering, and he was angry at himself for not being able to protect the ones he loved in this moment. But now there was only one thing that loomed on his mind: revenge. As Anakin continued to dwell within his own thoughts, Mace took up the speaking, asking where General Grievous is now. Cody responds, telling Mace that he's still on the planet and has multiple squads looking for him as they speak. Good, I want you to focus all your forces on locating Grievous. He must be found, Mace commands. As Cody was about to respond, Anakin takes off, sprinting away from the holotable, heading directly towards the hangar bay as everyone's attention quickly turns to him. Mace calls out after Anakin, trying to get him to stop, but to no avail, as Mace was now left with the choice of his own. He could chase after Anakin, trying to stop whatever he was planning on doing, or confront Palpatine as he had originally planned before receiving the news about Obi-Wan. Mace knew that his decision would have grave consequences, not only for himself but for the entire galaxy. It was as if he could feel the weight of the Force bearing down on him, urging him to make a decision. Back on Utapau, we find General Grievous as he stands hidden in the shadows of a nearby building, his mechanical lungs rasping as he caught his breath. He had managed to escape the chaos of the ongoing Battle of Utapau and take refuge in a hidden structure for the time being. After defeating Kenobi and fleeing from the clones, Grievous needed to contact his master Darth Sidious to inform him of his crucial victory. He activated his holocommunicator and waited for the connection to establish back to Sidious on Coruscant. We find Palpatine at his desk as suddenly a beeping sound interrupts the silence that was spread throughout the empty room. He glanced over to his desk, seeing the flashing icon indicating an incoming transmission from Grievous. As he was about to prepare to accept it, the doors of his office slide open with a hiss. In walks Mace Windu, accompanied by Kit Fisto, Sasay Tin, and Agent Kolar. Palpatine was caught off guard by their sudden appearance, but he quickly regained his composure. Things begin to play out identical to the movie in this scene, with Palpatine quickly and precisely taking out the other three Jedi Masters, now leaving only him and Mace one-on-one. Meanwhile, Anakin Skywalker has just arrived on Utapau. Anakin's heart was heavy with grief and he was determined to find Grievous, the one responsible for taking Obi-Wan's life. As he stepped out of his starfighter, Anakin saw that the Battle of Utapau was still raging. Blaster fire and explosions echoed throughout the air, and the ground shook beneath his feet. But Anakin paid no attention to the chaos around him. He strode forward, his lightsaber already ignited, and began tearing through the enemy lines. All types of droids fell before him as he cut a path through the battlefield. Anakin was a force of nature fueled by his grief and his need for vengeance. He barely even noticed when Commander Cody and his squad of clones fell right in a step behind him. "Where is General Grievous' ship?" Anakin demanded, his voice raw with emotion. Cody points towards a landing pad in the distance.
"Over there, sir. I have a group of my men there right now."
Anakin didn't reply. He simply turned and sprinted towards the area, leaving Cody and the other clones behind. As Anakin became closer to the landing pad, he could feel the presence of the cyborg like a dark cloud hovering at the edge of his senses. Anakin continued to run, his heart pounding in his chest. He had to get to Grievous before it was too late. And then he saw him. The hulking figure of Grievous, his robotic arms moving with blinding speed, dispatching the last of the clone troopers guarding his ship. Anakin charges forward, his lightsaber blazing with a fierce blue light. Grievous turned to face him, his eyes narrowing with anger.
"Skywalker!"
he hissed. Anakin didn't reply. He simply attacked, his lightsaber whirling through the air. Grievous met his strikes with the ferocity of his own, but nowhere near close to Anakin's. The two continued to duel on the landing pad with their blades ringing out in a deadly symphony. After a few moments, Anakin had enough and he decides to end the cyborg once and for all. With a surge of the Force, he reaches his hand out, grabbing Grievous as Anakin crushes Grievous's metal cybernetics like a tin can. Grievous falls to the ground, his body smoking and twisted as Anakin stands over him, his eyes filled with the fierce anger. Back on Coruscant, the duel between Mace Windu and Palpatine raged on, neither person gaining an advantage. The fight would play out very differently from the movie since Anakin would be on Utapau right now at this moment and not interfering with the duel. Palpatine was cunning and unpredictable, but Mace's abilities, along with his stamina, was unrelenting. They matched each other until it seemed that the fight would never end. Mace Windu and Palpatine lock eyes as their lightsabers clash together. Suddenly, Palpatine reaches to his side and unveils a second lightsaber, igniting it with a flourish as he was now dual-wielding with his crimson red blades. Mace was taken back by this unexpected move, but he quickly regained his composure and continued the fight, not wanting to let this moment slip away. Despite Palpatine's mastery of the dark side of the Force, Mace's stamina and skill began to wear down the Sith Lord. Mace seized the opportunity and lunged forward, his blade flashing through the air. There was a burst of energy as the three blades met once again. Mace pushing forward with all of his strength, Palpatine begins to stumble back, his eyes widening in surprise as Mace's blade pierces his chest. Mace steps back with his lightsaber still ignited as Palpatine falls to the ground, dropping both of his lightsabers, lifeless. A couple of days pass by as we find Anakin Skywalker standing solemnly among the other Jedi at Obi-Wan Kenobi's funeral, with his eyes fixated on the glowing beam of energy. The loss of his friend and master had hit him hard and he couldn't help but still feel a sense of emptiness inside. As he looked around to the other Jedi, Anakin could feel the uncertainty in the air. The death of Obi-Wan and Palpatine has left a void, not only in Anakin's life but also in the Jedi Order and the Republic itself. The events of the past few years had already begun to change him, but one thing was for certain. Obi-Wan's death would mark a turning point in Anakin's journey as he looks over to Padme, who we see standing across the room still pregnant as her hands lay rested on her stomach. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today's fanfiction. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you have any other ideas for what if videos or scenarios. Thank you all for watching, and until next video, may the Force be with you.